Hey everyone, welcome. So glad you are joining us either live or in replay. And we're going to talk about how health and allergies are connected to gut and actually blood sugar balance. Real quick, I'm going to have Caitlin share a little bit of her story because it is really powerful and she feels better. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me and letting me share my story. So I'm excited to tell you a little bit. It'll be just a quick version because I know Deirdre's got lots to talk about tonight, but it's all super helpful information. So I don't know, back in 2020, I think is when I started. So it's been almost 3 years. And I had to be on high dosages of BioCleanse to start out. And then I also worked myself up on high dosages, can't talk tonight, of ProBio 5. But I noticed about 9 months in, I think we were talking about this, the pollen season really hit in Florida and the cars were caked in yellow. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. And I used to live on Benadryl to get through that season because that was literally the only thing that helped me. Growing up, had allergies to pets, cats specifically, but dogs as well. And I grew up with dogs in the house, and so did my husband. So it was a lot. Like I constantly had tissues in my hands during allergy season. Or if I wasn't immune to those like animals that were in the house, then it would cause a reaction. So yeah, 9 months into taking the products, I felt so much better and could count on like one hand how many times I had to take something, and it didn't have to be Benadryl. And I would have to take like two Benadryl in order to like just feel better, and it wouldn't knock me out. That's how bad it was. So it was amazing to feel that relief, and it continues to get better each year. So I'm super thankful for that. And I'm excited for everybody who is going to find hope and relief from all of their allergies because it is possible. So that's my story.
Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin.
You're welcome.
So I got to work one-on-one with Caitlin and help her figure out how to feel better. And a little bit of our story is we actually didn't start Plexus with because of allergies. It was my husband's IBS. But I saw how much it was helping him. And I was like, we're getting to root issues. And so my oldest, who was 3 at the time, I took the triplex and I dosed it to her body weight. And she had bad food allergies and seasonal allergies. I mean, the kids that run out and their eyes are just start turning red and they're not really crying, but they're running around because their eyes are dripping. That was my daughter. And so I know Caitlin can relate to that probably. And so fast forward 2 years, took her in to get her blood work done. And the pediatrician said hers was the cleanest blood work she'd seen in her 20 years of practice. What were we doing? We were doing Plexus. I mean, we definitely ate cleaner. We eliminated things that triggered her on the food side, that created more inflammation in her body. So we were able to use this to just help calm her body and help it heal. And it has just been life-changing for her. She's 8 now and feels amazing and loves playing outside. So let's get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty. What is an allergy? I bet you guys didn't know. Did you know 1 out of 5 Americans has an allergy? I thought that was really high statistics. And so an allergy is when the immune system reacts to something that is actually harmless to your body. And so you have things where the immune system is responding, releasing these proteins, releasing histamine and chemicals, and hence why we have all these, the runny nose, the headaches, the mucus, because it's trying to fight off something that actually doesn't need to fight off. And here's another interesting fact. 80% of your immune system is housed in your gut. So how are these things connected? If you've heard of leaky gut, and I'll be getting to that in a minute, really how that happens, but it's when the gastric juices, food debris, proteins, bad bacteria get into your bloodstream and the surrounding organs. Why is that important? Well, as it does that, it's actually getting in and all around your other cells, and pieces of those those debris and everything start attaching to the outer walls of the cells. Well, the immune system is like, what is touching these cells? Attack, attack, attack. And so then you start having reactions. And then that's where the inflammation, the mucus, and the immune response starts. But the body doesn't need to, because it's not actually something coming in to hurt it. So on the flip side, talking about medications, I was used to popping allergy pills. I didn't have severe allergies, but they would pop up every now and then, and I would just take a Claritin and sort of clear it out. Well, I did not know that most medication only addresses the symptoms. They weren't actually getting to the root, and they raise your blood sugar. Antihistamines, decongestants, over-the-counter allergy medications they're typically loaded with chemicals, fillers, sometimes metals, little amounts, but not good metals for you, dyes, and sugar themselves. And also, she mentioned Benadryl really taxes the kidneys because of the drying effect that it has on the body, just to put it in the bottom line. So you have all this going on with your body. You're having an immune response. If you end up taking medications, you're now having it mess with your blood sugar balance. It's actually taxing your liver, your kidneys, and guess what else it messes with? Blood pressure. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's a common side effect to over-the-counter allergy medications, and it depletes essential minerals and vitamins. And you're like, okay, thanks, Deirdre. Great. What do I do now? Well, don't worry, we're about to get to that. So I just want you to know a little bit of the anatomy. Your sinuses, lymph nodes, eyes, tear ducts, GI tract, your skin, all have good and bad bacteria. We are actually 10 bacteria to one cell. And when this gets out of balance, this is where you see chronic sinus infections, chronic ear infections, chronic strep, actually. And so you see with the medicines, you have, it's just blocking the histamine or suppressing an immune function is basically what they're doing. And so with this component, it actually creates a nutritional void in your body, because not only is it blocking that, but it also on the flip side blocks essential vitamins and minerals that your body needs to stop those things from happening. And so the more your body becomes deficient, the weaker it actually gets, the more immune challenges you have. And that's sort of the way you can progress to autoimmune cancer and chronic health struggles. Do you see like how things compound over time? So you can be also on the flip side, the healthiest eater. You don't take any medications, but you get your microbiome from your mom. And then you have stress, you have our Western diet, you have toxin loads that we're exposed to that we really can't control. And you can do all the right things, but if you're not rebuilding your gut and doing it every single day and balancing your blood sugar, it's like brushing your teeth. What happens when you don't brush your teeth after a long time? You're going to start having issues in there, and the same with our gut. So how do we get to the root of this, of allergies? We're going to address 4 things at the same time, which is blood sugar balance, gut health, inflammation, and nutritional deficiencies. So gut health is where all your nutrients are taken in and are absorbed, broken down. And this is where the body gets rid of, toxic waste and things like that. So what we use is what's called the Probio 5. And I meant to grab my bottle, but I forgot. And everyone is born with a little bit of yeast. And what happens is that yeast gets out of control, like the medications, the stress, the diet that I mentioned. And our Western diet's called the SAD diet. I know, so fun. And so what happens is that yeast starts to overgrown. Good bacteria becomes about 20%, and then all the bad bacteria becomes about 80%, and it's supposed to be flipped. Well, now the yeast that is decomposing you before you die is poking microscopic holes in the lining of your gut and is causing this leaky gut that I mentioned about before. So what you need is a probiotic, which is our Probio 5, that has enzymes and antifungals at the same time. So what happens is this goes in and it weeds out and then puts the seeds in. If you've ever taken a probiotic and you see, like, you take it and you're like, I'm not really feeling anything. Well, typically what's happening is good grass seed is just getting thrown on weeds and it can't take root. unfortunately. And so this has a synergistic effect of doing the weed and seed at the same time. And the cool part is it's dehydrated. So it stays in its active form until it gets released in the intestines, which means it can make it all the way to the colon, which has incredible benefits, long-term health, because your colon has so much to do. Just go look it up. And so this is a long-term health win, if I'm saying that right. And on the other side, candida is notorious for blocking B6. And this is important because this has to do with mental health, skin, nails, and hair that you need to feel well and grow. And you notice, like, a lot of times you have skin issues like rashes. So this is very important. And that is in our probiotic as well. So you have, on the flip side, you are working on your gut. Well, now you need to cleanse on a cellular level because you have all that junk in your body. And so that's what the BioCleanse, I did grab the bottle for this, BioCleanse does. It cleans on a cellular level. It's not a colon cleanse. It is a nice, gentle, magnesium-rich cellular cleanse. Now, 90% of the population is deficient in magnesium. Listen, when you get stressed, when you get sick, and when you consume sugar, they require some of the highest amounts of magnesium when you're dealing with those. If you have all three happening at the same time, your magnesium is getting depleted real fast. So this is a magnesium source that's very bioavailable. It actually has an alkalining side to it, which is one of the most powerful ways when you combine magnesium with sodium bicarbonate. If you look it up, it is amazing and sort of does like a scrubbing bubbles effect throughout your body. You have extra oxygen entering into the bloodstream, which is cleaning fungus, bacteria, and viruses, getting out all that waste that's been leaking in. And so this also helps on a histamine level, because when that's happening, you're alkalining, you are reducing inflammation on a cellular level and in the bloodstream. You're cleaning the stuff that's causing the histamine reactions, the immune response. And so there's a couple things. You have hesperidin, if I'm saying it right, and quince fruit. Sorry if I did not say it right. These, if you look them up, are incredible natural antihistamine things from fruits. And then you have bioflavonoids, which help boost the immune system as you're starting to clean everything out. And so one way you can do is actually take you put a little bit under your tongue, you hold it for 30 seconds, and you get it right into your bloodstream. It's very, very powerful and very gentle. I mean, this is what my daughter, her body loved and craved when it came to allergies. So we talked about blood sugar balance. So this happens to everyone, especially if you've been taking medications, and that's okay, because I did too. I had no idea. So so when you have too much blood sugar, or the blood sugar imbalance happening, it's just too much glucose, too much insulin. A lot of times people think diabetic, but a lot of the times that's not what's happening. You'll see it in moodiness, crashes in the afternoon, brain fog will be blood sugar imbalance. Short-term memory, inability to have that short-term memory is actually a sign of blood sugar imbalance. So what happens is when you have where you're having too much insulin happening, the cells sort of turn off the receptors. Well, the insulin's still knocking on the cell. And so what happens if someone keeps knocking, you're like, stop. Well, it's going to start to create some inflammation, an inflammation response on a cellular level. So when that happens, your cortisol goes up, and guess what happens? It even more decreases your insulin sensitivity. And this happens in children too. There's studies out there that show that allergies, not only the medication, but the allergy reaction itself on a cellular level can spike your blood sugar. This is why I love Slim. So it's a drink. A lot of times you've heard of the pink drink. And I did use this with my daughter as well, but it is a trace mineral and plant-based products. And it has alpha lipoic acid that increases your glutathione. One version has prebiotics that helps be the food for the good bacteria. And the other one is hunger control, keeps you fuller longer. That one I did not use for the kids. I used the microbiome one only. And I love that one because it only feeds the good bacteria. Most prebiotics, if you eat like kimchi or something like that, it will feed both the good and the bad. But this is the only one that feeds only the good, by 200 to 300 times, which is incredible. And so in understanding how these work, you're balancing your blood sugar, healing your gut, cleaning on a cellular level. These are therapeutic grade supplements that get to the root of the issues synergistically. So you see that it's called a gut health system, the triplex. And that's those three things: BioCleanse, ProBio5, and the Slim, the pink drink. So you're reducing your systemic inflammation, you're lessening the allergy damage, which increases the body's ability to heal, and it helps with long-term health goals. So you're sealing those leaky pipes and everything, and you're helping the detox systems work and initiating healing systems that are already designed within us to start working the right way. So we talked about nutritional gaps. So there's something we use called X Factor Plus. It's a fully bioavailable vitamin. It's fully methylated, chelated, and it has 19 essential minerals and vitamins. And there is a kid version of this as well. And it has an aloe base that helps you absorb everything 300 times more. And this addresses those deficiencies that I was talking about, so your body can run well. Can run very well. If you have deficiencies in your body's, like, it's almost like your body has not enough gas, like it's running on fumes. You just keep pouring in like a couple dollars into the gas tank, and then it gets back down to the fumes, and you're constantly doing this. Well, that causes a lot of stress on the body. So if you can get good doses of good nutrition into your cells and your body can do incredible things. It's like, hallelujah, let's do what we were created to do. And so you have that piece that I love adding in, and then targeting systemic inflammation. This is huge. And if you don't have a shellfish allergy, this is one key component you can add in. It's called EASE. It can, it's a natural source of iodine, essential minerals, and vitamins as well, and an enzyme blend that helps clean on a cellular level. Oh, I forgot to say the ProBio5, the probiotic, also has things that help clean on a cellular level, but I'm not going to get onto that. So you see many of these things have multifaceted parts that are helping come together and create a really powerful support for the body system so it can do what it was created to do. So the EASE also, I want to put out there, beats NSAIDs. When they took the New Zealand lipid muscle against NSAIDs, it beat it out in studies like way beyond. And it's good for you, and you don't have the side effects of taxing your liver. It's incredible. If you cannot take EASE, I have ways to dose the BioCleanse to help all that. So let's look at timeline. So if you have struggled with this for only a couple of years, or maybe you've been struggling with it for decades, 30 days is not going to cut it. Neither is 16. Actually, neither is 90 days, because your cells regenerate every 90 days. And so we've had a negative compound effect sort of happened in that way. So now we're literally changing the trajectory by plugging these things in to our design. The way God designed it. He put plants and minerals into the earth so we can plug it into us. And then it starts running well. But guess what? We're starting from a deficiency and working our way up. So when we give it multiple times of that 90 days, a lot of times you'll see people have huge changes around 9 months to 12 months. And typically the higher dose ends, like Caitlin was talking about, because we're doing it on a therapeutic level. We're catching up on deficiencies. We are working through layers of toxins and putting layers of good stuff back in. And so you have to be super consistent. And so this is a long-term solution, and it is worth it. The things that help make it work is communication, growing and learning, and consistency. And listen, your diet does matter. What you put in is the fuel you're going to get out. And water and movement. And the reason I actually mentioned movement with allergies is because your sinuses are part of your lymph system, and your lymph system doesn't move unless you move. So that's a little tip right there, just stretching and moving and getting out and walking. So here's the bottom line. You are designed to heal. You are made in the image of God, and we are designed to heal. And when we take the things of the earth and we plug it in, like I've been saying, it is incredible what we can do. There are so many testimonies of people getting off of tons of medications, feeling well, feeling like they woke up after, years of feeling so tired. Being tired is a sign your body is overworking and has a lot of cortisol and something's going on and isn't balanced. So there are some amazing deals going on. Please get back with the person who invited you and let them know if you have any questions. Tell them something you learned tonight. And I'm really excited for you guys to feel better. All right. Talk to you later.